Hey everybody, it's Matthew, and yep, it's that time of the year again. We get some new forms, so let's take a look. Alright, so here it is, the end of 2019, and generally NVAR Standard Forms Committee releases new forms on January 1st and July 1st of each year to kind of give us some ability to adapt and know when they're coming and not sprinkle them through the year. And when they say that, we've had instances where something was more urgent or not, and this year's no different. And so instead of launching them out on January 1st, we're going to do them December 1st. And the reason being is that the MLS policies have changed. And so instead of doing them December and January to comply, we're doing them all at one time. Good news is, not a lot of changes. So here they are. So for our listing agreements, the big news was that NAR passed a new Section 8 MLS policy rule, the Clear Communications policy. About a month before that, Bright MLS, our MLS, did that themselves. And, and actually theirs is a little bit more lenient than NAR's. The premise of the policy is, as we've discussed before, that when you have a listing and you want to do some pre-marketing advertising, you want to let everybody know that it's coming soon, you can do that, but within one business day of the listing's first public marketing or offering. So that coming soon sign, putting it on social media, sending out an email blast to people, letting buyers know, any of the above, just about anything you can think of, except for internal communication within your brokerage, will be considered public marketing. And when you do public marketing, you're going to need to put it in the MLS as at least coming soon. Now remember, there's a restriction for coming soon, and that is you're not allowed to show the property. No one else can. And if you are going to show the property, then you have to make it active in MLS. So that's it. Not a big change in what's always been with coming soon. The big change is now no more public offering or marketing unless you're also putting it in MLS as coming soon within one business day. So in order to comply with that, it makes the forms a little easier, and they have now entered, the Forms Committee has now entered that pre-marketing language that used to be a separate form, that form's gone now, into the standard forms for all the different types of listing opportunities we may have. It makes it a lot easier to cover with your client, makes it more standard, and now it immediately outlines to the consumer that they are going to go into that public MLS database just as coming soon, as a coming soon status, and that as a reminder to the seller that there are no showings permitted during that coming soon status. And if they want showings and they want to allow them, they've got to open it up to everybody. So that's going to be in all of the listing agreements that complies with the new policies of the Bright MLS. Remember, those go into effect on December 1st. It will be policed by agents. So if there is a violation, if someone calls up and says, hey, John Smith Realtor has had a coming soon sign for 4 days, I can't find an MLS, the MLS, Bright MLS, will reach out to John Smith, giving him an opportunity to put it in the MLS, and if he refuses to, they have the right to assess a $5,000 fine. So it's a pretty hard fine, pretty big fine. You want to make sure you're in compliance. The listing agreement will have that for you. In addition to the coming soon status, the FIRPTA status, which is our Foreign Investor Property Tax Act, that language is now no longer a separate form either. It has been reduced, summarized, and placed in the listing agreements for more clarity, and in the contract for more clarity, so that your buyers and sellers, if they do fall into these categories, it'll tell them there roughly who will, and then you can act accordingly. In addition to that, there have been some modifications to the language under the POA section of the contract. No big deal. It was just more in line itself with the regulation and regulatory changes, but ultimately it's not significant enough to justify a whole new form or anything else. It was just some tweaking, so that's there. The contract has also been modified, so now E&D transfers by wire transfer is part of the contract, where before it didn't have that option. It does now. And for all your leases, as of last year, there were some changes to the Virginia Landlord-Tenant Act. Every landlord is now to comply with the RLTA. There's no more opt-out language in any of your lease agreements, or listing agreements for leases. So that's it. Coming soon status to reflect now the Bright MLS policy. The FERPTA language has been no more separate addendum. It's now in the contract and listing agreement. POA language is updated to match. EMD now allows for wire transfer. And really, that's it. Nice, simple, clean. I'm going to send out these forms to everybody. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to your brokers. They're always happy to help. Thanks so much for listening.